Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Garden Girl. We have spring is in full effect, and I hope you guys are enjoying the lovely weather. Like I told you, we were going to get into more and more advanced stuff, and I'm so happy to have Tammy back today because this is something that, although maybe I studied it in college, it wasn't something that we did a lot of, so this is more her thing than mine. However, I do have a little bit of experience with it, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I really think you're going to find this kind of neat. So, again, we're getting with the advanced stuff, so stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to jump right into why we get it with grafting. And by the way, you need to catch up on the previous episodes because, again, we're going to keep advancing things. So get yourself caught up. All you have to do is go to WJERTV2.com and you'll see a little link there that says original programming. Click right on the Garden Girl and it'll take you to a whole slew of the episodes. So make sure you're caught up so that you're up to speed with us in 2016.
For clean air you can breathe in a clean-looking home exterior, Ultra Clean. Locally owned and operated, offers both air duct cleaning and pressure washing for your home. Give them a call at 330-243-3996 to help clean up the air you and your family breathe and your home's outside appearance.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, carry on. We are who we are.
I think the hands-on aspect is going to give you an opportunity to explore, find out what you're good at, what you like, and you're not going to have mountains of debt. What you're going to have is a marketable skill that even if you don't love it, you can use that to pay to go on to college and get that degree. And we've got a number of students that do that. They're very mature. I think we're a great hands-on exploration base.
Hi, I'm TV2 Sports Talk's Bill Morgan. Some people are outstanding at playing sports, and then there's me. While we at TV2 Sports Talk may have never been All-State on the field, we are Tuscarawas County's MVP when it comes to local television sports talk and play-by-play. Catch TV2 Sports Talk Wednesday nights at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2.
Hi everybody, welcome back. I'd like to introduce, if you didn't see last year's episodes with some of the cool stuff we were doing mad scientist-wise, this is Tammy Hellwig. She runs Hellwig's Family Nursery out of Zora, Ohio. You can go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hello.
She is very gifted in the grafting, and it's an area that she really likes. So I'm sure some of you guys are probably sitting there going, grafting, is this like drafting? No, it's not drafting paper, writing, anything like that. We're talking plants. Okay, so what is grafting exactly? All right, the easiest way to explain it is kind of like, well, like he said, Frankenstein. You know, Tammy has stronger legs than I do, but I have longer arms. So we're gonna do like the magicians do, and we're gonna cut Tammy in half, and we're gonna cut myself in half. But we're gonna put my upper body on her lower body, and you know what happens from there. The veins have to attach. It's just like these surgeries. The veins have to attach. Everything has to grow together and take to be successful. And then of course, there would be scarring. That is grafting in a nutshell, honestly. So then you're probably sitting there going, why would you do that to plants? Well, there's a multitude of reasons. If you're familiar at all with seed starting, some of you guys know certain seeds grow in like 3 days and you've got microgreens up. Other stuff takes forever and it's just a slow grower. So grafting allows us to accelerate that process. Another reason we graft is because sometimes the flowers, the fruits, everything else are great, but their rootstock, their base, their legs aren't so great. So sometimes using different rootstock provides better quality growing, more disease resistance, and allows that plant to really be its 110% that it can be. And then the other reason, which some of you guys I'm sure get the catalogs if you're gardeners, you know as well as I do, you flip through those pages and you see these apple trees where it's like a 3-in-1, 4-in-1 apple tree. There's 4 different kinds on one tree. Okay, that doesn't start from seed. You're not doing that from cuttings. You have to graft. Again, we're going back to the Frankenstein thing. We're putting all 4 of those different varieties or 3 varieties onto that tree. So for those of you that maybe only have a small backyard, but really want apples, but you don't have room for 4 trees, guess what? Thanks to grafting, you don't have to, you only need 1 tree. So there's a lot of different reasons we do grafting. And so what we're gonna do is jump right in here with Tammy, because Tammy has a lot more experience in successful grafting than what I have. You know, to begin with, did I kind of cover everything, or is there some other stuff maybe that, you know, because you're more into this than me, is there some other stuff that I didn't cover, why people graft?
Yeah, I mean, you covered everything very well and you got the basics down very well. But another reason people will graft, such as with these Japanese maples, is that they won't clone. All these different leaf forms, they won't clone as a rooted cutting, or you cannot grow these by seed. It just won't happen. They're just like children. You put the seeds down, everyone's going to come up with a different feature. So, you know, if I want a Hobbs red Japanese maple, I have to graft it because the seeds off that plant is not going to produce a Hobbs red. What it's going to do is produce a genetic different plant.
So it can revert back. It can, or it won't turn out what?
You might get some, just like your children, that will look like you or resemble you, but the DNA is going to be totally different from the seedlings. The features are going to be different. It can look close, or it can come out looking like this, which is just a genetically different. This is a mother plant that we just use for root. It's not really a mother plant, it's a rootstock plant. And it's just a generic green Japanese maple, and it has very strong roots. And that is the purpose of taking a piece of this, putting it on here, because this will not grow good roots on its own. Put it on the plant that'll grow really great roots, and you'll have a plant that you can enjoy for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, see, and that's where I think, and when we refer to rootstock is basically, let's just call it the legs. It's the base that you're attaching the scion. The actual technical name is scion, and that's what we're attaching to the rootstock. I guess that's the best way to explain it, really. At least that's how they taught me. But so to do that, you know, what we're going to get into we're going to take a little break and let this all sink in with you guys, because I know this is kind of like, what? So we're going to let this sink in, but when we come back, we're going to explain, because it is crucial the time of year you do it with stuff. When you do decide you're going to start grafting, and we're going to try to take you through the steps on how to do it from A to B, C to D. So hopefully you can play around and maybe get a successful graft just trying something. So stay tuned, we're going to be right back.
Just wanting to be a police officer, I knew this was a great start, and it turned out to be a fantastic one.
Just be able to actually see what you're doing, what you're working on, and understand how you can take one thing and turn it into something else.
We got to creatively use skills and academics and see how we can place them into our fields.
It was pretty much I had the key to open the door, and that was from Buckeye.
For clean air you can breathe in a clean-looking home exterior, Ultra Clean. Locally owned and operated, offers both air duct cleaning and pressure washing for your home. Give them a call at 330-243-3996 to help clean up the air you and your family breathe and your home's outside appearance.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, carry on. We are who we are.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Okay, so this is where I keep telling you guys, get your pens and papers out. Tammy, what exactly do they need to go to the store, or do they need to get together supply-wise to embark on this journey?
Okay. Well, one of the first things you need is a green Japanese maple seedling, and that's how it's sold. You don't see them too often here, but I'm sure you can get them at the Garden Girl this spring. Her shop. Then you need scion wood, and that would be what you would want to graft onto this one. This particular piece of wood is from a bloodgood tree. So, just to play with it, if your neighbor has a Japanese maple and you like it, you don't necessarily need the name for playing with this and seeing if you can do it. So I wouldn't go buy a $200 tree or a $79 tree because you need a little piece of stick. Look for a bloodgood or one of the lace leaves. Ask somebody if they'll give you some cuttings if you don't have them in your yard. You only need 3 leaf nodes. You don't need a real big piece. I'm sure people would share it with you. You need some alcohol, just regular rubbing alcohol, some cotton balls. I use fungicide, which you can get anywhere. Walmart. Do you carry it, Heather?
Yeah, all mine's organic too, so I've got the
You can get it
control.
at the Garden Girl shop.
Yep, right here.
I also use Glad Press and Seal, and I'll show you why. Some clippers, just in case you need to clip anything. I've already clipped my scion wood. and some budding tape, which you don't have to go buy this. It's mail order. You can cut just a strip of your press and seal and use that as a budding strip. It stretches, it'll work fine. Okay, and the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disinfect things. Any tools that you use, you're gonna disinfect. If I need to use those clippers for anything, they're gonna get disinfected. I'm gonna find a place on this tree that I think will work well for the piece of wood I'm gonna try to put on it. So I am gonna rub this down with some alcohol, and that's gonna kill basically any bacteria or anything. You wanna keep this sanitized, just like if you're going to surgery, you know, just like what the doctors are gonna do.
It's kind of like Frankenstein, guys, see?
Then I'm gonna spray down some fungicide. You know, this doesn't hurt you. I mean, if you're scared of it, use gloves. I don't. It's not going to hurt nothing. And you're going to have to do the same procedure of sanitizing your scion wood. Sanitation is really important with this because you are doing an operation. Okay, the last thing I want to do is just get some fungicide on my knife just in case I've have a piece of fungus from another plant or what have you. Now what I'm going to do is just make a simple side cut. I'm going to go in about 17% of this, this tree, and I'm going to keep my knife fairly flat. And I'm going to cut. I am not pushing, I am cutting. Okay, I got a nice little pocket there. Then I'm going to make a wedge out of this. I'm going to do the same thing. Keep my knife fairly flat, and I'm just going to pull it through. But you're actually cutting, not dragging. And if you wanted a little bit more, you can take a little bit more off. But here I got a nice little chisel. That little chisel is going to fit in this little pocket. And I'm going to put my glasses on. And I actually just use some really strong readers because I do wear glasses, but my glasses aren't quite as strong as what I like for doing this. So I've got a good fit on this. You only have to line it up on one side. So I'm going to work on the side that I can see really well. And then if I can turn this around, see I've got a nice tight fit there.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is lining up cambium to cambium. We don't have, that kind of brings, that's kind of like the little blood vessels. It brings sap up from the roots and nutrition up through the roots.
And it has to match up. It's the same thing as like a heart transplant and matching up the arteries, matching up the veins. You know, when they say an organ transplant doesn't take or something, it's not matched up. Same thing happens here. This is like doing surgery.
See, now I'm double checking just to make sure, that I'm lined up. I'm lined up. You know, to really make this, what made this the easiest way for me to get it is under your bark is your cambium. So if you have bark to bark lined up, you're probably going to get your cambiums all lined up.
And this is a very common and really an easy way for a lot of people to start grafting. The side graft is pretty popular.
It's easy too. I mean,
yeah, there's tons of other kinds, like the saddle. See, I've always had good luck with that saddle notch.
Yeah.
Setting it, but you have to be pretty precise on that. So side, I would follow what Tammy is doing here. I think you're going to have a better chance of success pulling it off. Okay.
Yeah, well, this is, I've learned a few other different types. This is just the easiest for me and for probably most people. You're just making a pocket, you're making a chisel, you're lining up your cambium. You only need a little bit of that cambium to match. That whole side doesn't have to. You want to try to match it all. But if things get wiggled around, if just one piece of it is touching, it'll take. And you know, I still don't have 100, well, no grafter has 100% take. I'm not going to even, I don't think any of them do.
Yeah, you're going to lose stuff.
You're typically going to get, when you're a beginner, maybe 30, 40%. And then it'll work up to 50, 60%. Your professional grafters, they're only going to get probably 80, maybe a good year, 90, and that's if the weather and temperatures and humidity is completely
perfect.
Perfect, perfect.
Now, what
all
are
I
you
did
doing
here was
there?
I just made a humidity tent, and I just used the press and seal, just cut a piece that'll fit around it. It sticks to itself. I sprayed a little fungicide in there that's going to do two things. It's going to help with any fungus that maybe didn't get wiped off and kill it, and it's going to give me some humidity in there. And humidity is really important for this little scion. If it has proper humidity, its chances is better that it's going to take. Now, this little tree, I just want to take it and put it in a 70-degree area. You don't need it really in sun or anything. It's really can be in shade. If it's nice weather, you can put it underneath a shade tree. And you just watch it. If it turns black down in this union, you got a piece of fungus in it, and it is not going to take.
Yeah. I was going to ask, how do we check? How do they know? Because you
can see through
you're
here.
You're going to try it, and you're going to want to be like, did it take? Did it do it?
Don't mess with it. Just watch it for 2 weeks. You'll start to see the leaves coming out if it took. Now, it'll sit like this for probably 8-10 days before the leaves will come out. And it depends what time of the year you can do this. You know, Japanese maples can be done pretty much all the time, given the right temperatures. One main thing is you want a rootstock that is leafed out. It's out of dormancy. You want your rootstock pretty much out in dormancy at this time of the year.
Okay, okay. So it does matter when we do it and how we do it. See, guys, it's not that hard. It is. It's just playing Frankenstein a little bit, but it's really fun, and I hope you guys try to do this. I really want to thank Tammy today for coming and showing us this method, and I think you guys are going to have fun with it. As you can see, this is stuff you can get, and it's not even, I mean, the cost is minimal. And I think all the fungicide I have here is under $10 as well. So
and it lasts.
Gosh, yeah, now it's going to last a while.
I use one of these a season. I do hundreds of them. I mean,
oh gosh, yeah. See, and then you can double use. You can always go and use it on your tomatoes, on your petunias, everything else. So I really want to thank her for coming today. I hope you guys have good luck with this, and I want some feedback. And I want you guys to stay tuned for next week. We've got more fun projects coming up, so you don't want to miss it. Trust me, it is a really fun project, and it's something creative and something you don't see all the time. So
and it's not hard. It's not hard, and you can make all these different types of Japanese maples once you learn.
And I think I might need this one for my miniature garden. I'm thinking I might need to keep this one small for my mini garden. Anyhow, thank you so much, guys, and we will see you next week.